Good morning, viewers. Welcome back to the Next Moon YT channel. Today I'm going to talk about seatbelts. We all have seatbelts in our cars, but unfortunately the seatbelts can be sometimes annoying and not the most comfortable thing to use for our own safety and protection. So today I'm going to talk about seatbelt extenders. Here in front of me on the screen you see I have two types of seatbelt extender. On the left side we have this type of seatbelt extender, which is the soft type. It's made from the same material, the belt material, as the original car seat seatbelt. As you can see here, it's the same material with the soft flexible weaving nylon material. And on the right in the black we have the solid rigid type of seatbelt extender. This is the solid one. So this is a plastic covering and inside is all metal, and as you can see it's stiff and rigid. And these are the two examples that are made available. And this particular seatbelt extension is made by Seatbelt Extension Pro. If I can get the focus. This is a made in the USA product, and it is E4 certified, as you can see here. If I can get this to focus. The E4 is a European safety certification. It's recognized worldwide, and it means basically that these are legitimate seatbelts that will protect you in a crash. So the reason I bought this is because I have, as you can see, car seats in my car, and this is the second row, and I'm going to show you how I use it to make my life easier and make my kids' life easier anytime we go to places, and also for an adult to see how you can use these seatbelt extenders to make your life a little more easier as you get in and out of your car. Before we do that, actually let me show you the dimensions of these seatbelts. On the left side, on the gray seatbelt, I have a seatbelt that measures from the tip to the buckle to be about 9.5 inches. So if you Google for a seatbelt extender, this will be a 9-inch flexible variation. The buckle actually does not count in the total length because that goes inside your seatbelt attachment. And the one on the right, the black one, measures about 5.5 inches, and this is a rigid type. Okay, so that gives you an idea of the size of the extensions. They go from a minimum of 3 inches, which is basically this buckle length without the rod. So this would attach directly to your seatbelt attachment, and those will be 3 inches. So we have 5-inch, and we have a 9-inch, and I think it goes all the way up to 12 inches. When you go out and try to buy one of these seatbelt extenders, the most important thing you need to know or to get is the measurement of your tongue, the metal tongue, which is this part of your seatbelt. Again, this is the metal tongue, and you need to know the width of the seatbelt tongue. So I got a tape measure, and my tongue is 7/8 of an inch. 7/8 of an inch. And this is my original seatbelt, 7/8 of an inch. So that's the measurement you would need if you want to buy a seatbelt extender. It is the measurement of the tongue, the width of the tongue. And they will vary between each car manufacturer, so you should measure it and get the width. Okay, so this is my second row, and this is with one car seat in my second row. As you can see, the buckle is right down there in my car, and that is as far as it'll come out. You see, that's as far as it'll come out. I guess they made it this way so the seats can fold easily and not crush the seatbelt, but it's a little ridiculously low to the seat cushion, and my son has an incredibly hard time trying to sit in his car seat and get the buckle all the way in. See how hard that was? So he'll fidget with this and need my help to put in his buckle safely. So I came up with the idea of getting a seatbelt extension, and I'll show you how it works. I'm gonna unbuckle the seatbelt. There it is. And I recommend getting the solid type, the rigid type of seatbelt extender if you have a child booster like my son does. And I'll show you how it works. So this is the original buckle. This is the extender. The extender has its own buckle, and you would turn it sideways and just slip it in, and there you go. That is now the new buckle that my son would use when he sits in his car seat. So this is about 5 inches tall, and it's stiff and it's rigid, so it's not going to fall over or get caught under the next car seat. I normally have a car seat here, and I'll show you that later. As you can see, it's right by his hip where the seatbelt buckle can be easily put in by himself, or myself to help him if he really needs it. And he will just buckle in like this. That is his setup right there. Right? Now it did take him a day to get used to using the second release, the seatbelt release, versus the first one. For the first day he did keep pressing this one, but after a day or two he learned to use this one, so it's not a big deal. So to release it, let me just put this back on the seat. You would just press the seatbelt release, just like that. This you would just leave. Okay, you notice how the rigid seatbelt keeps everything raised and semi-aligned with his seat, making it easier for him to find, so he can do with his seatbelt by himself. Okay, so now I'm gonna set up my second car seat in this normal position, and I'll give me a second to do that. Okay, so this is my normal setup. Here are my two car seats sitting side by side in the second row. I apologize for the lighting. Okay, let me do it like this so we can get some more lighting. And as you can see, the seatbelt buckle is all the way in between, and typically it's actually closer together like that. As you can see, it's almost impossible to get your hand in there to put on the seatbelt buckle. There's the seatbelt buckle between the seats. See, normally it'll be like this, and I would say it's near impossible. However, if you have the seatbelt extender with the rigid one again, I will put it in like this. You see? Now the seatbelt extender is very easy to get to. It's right here. You can just pull the seatbelt out and buckle it himself. Okay? Now let me show you a problem with my second car seat. Here's my setup with two car seats in place. Here's car seat 1, and the other one is over there, car seat 2. So as you can see, the buckle for the middle seat is right here, and this buckle facing upward is the one for the passenger side window seat. As you can see, the middle seat buckle is in a very odd position. It's actually pointing sideways, and that's because the car seat here is actually wider than what's the designated space for the middle seat passenger. So this seat belt has nowhere to go but to face sideways, because there's no space to go that way. So this presents a problem for my daughter who sits here. There's no way for her to get this buckle into this lock. And I can show you. I'm trying to do this with one hand again. She has to do this, bend all the way back and try to find the buckle to insert into while it's fidgeting around the buckle. There you have it. So that's a very awkward angle, and the only person who can actually put on this buckle is someone sitting right here in the window seat. So my daughter, being very independent, wants to do this by herself, and in this case we can use the extender as well. I'll show you how. Let me take off this buckle, put it here, and in this case using a rigid stiff buckle doesn't help. If I were to insert it into the middle seat buckle, it would be somewhat like this. It'd still be facing in a very awkward angle and, you know, be useless. So I'm gonna take this back off, and in this case we can use the flexible buckle. In this case you would push it in like this. As you can see, it's very awkward, and the buckle will go around to here in this position, and you will buckle it. I'm unable to do that for you on this video right now because I don't have my second hand to do this. But as you can see, it's easy to attach it once to the middle seat buckle and arrange it for the extender buckle to like stay around this area. I could use a screw or a tape or something to help keep it in this area, so it'll be a lot easier for my daughter to buckle herself. So in this case, the flexible belt was a good option, and that's what we're gonna do in the future. And we might actually have another buckle extender, one that's a lot shorter than this. Do you use for the outside window seat like this? Makes it easier for the whoever sitting here, the adult, to also buckle in more easily. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so now we're back in our front seat, and you may remember my custom-made towel seat cover, but here it is. This seat buckle is pre-inset into the driver's seat. This is not because of my towel or anything like that. It's just very low, and when you sit on it, it's very hard to sometimes get to the seat buckle. So this could be a big problem for someone who is elderly, who may be battling arthritis. So, you know, twisting and trying to find a seat buckle may be pretty uncomfortable and very tough. So here's where the seat buckle extender can be useful too. We can put it here. Obviously this is my 5-inch extender. It's a little too long. I would get a 3-inch extender, which is just the head. So it'll be the head connected to the head of the buckle, which provides 3-inch of lift. So that makes it a lot easier to buckle for someone who is elderly, or if you've been drinking too much beer and you have a good sized pot belly. This is something that's useful for you as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informational. These are seat belt extenders. This particular model is made by Seatbelt Extender Pro. I'm not sure if you can see that. And it has safety ratings, and this is made from all steel. So I've been using this for over a year, and I think it's a great solution and might be something that makes your life a little easier. If you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and leave some comments if you want. And I'll see you in the next video.